So you have a tilted pelvis, and perhaps you have to wear orthopedic insoles to compensate for different leg lengths. I'm going to show you that this isn't necessary and how to get your pelvis straight again the natural way. Before we show you an exercise to level out your pelvis, let me explain the situation to you. We often assume that the legs are of different lengths and that this tilts the pelvis, and then your back tries to balance that out, leading to a bent spine, and so on. You should know that the legs are normally of the same length. Maybe they differ by a couple of millimeters, but that's all. But what could have changed is the attachment of the legs to the hip joint. Here, you have the hip joint, and depending on the tensions in the muscles and the fascia there, the way the legs are attached can vary from one hip side to the other. And so, the pelvis becomes tilted, and your body tries to compensate for that by bending the spine. But now, to use insoles to compensate for that is not a good idea, since you do not remove the root cause of this misalignment, but make it permanent. So, we have to deal with the attachment here. And if a leg is too short, most of the time this is because of too much tension, which has to be released. And after doing the exercise, you'll be 2 centimeters taller. Doing the exercise regularly will keep it that way. Take a chair and sit on it like Ina. Scoot to the edge of the seat a bit. And now you cross your legs with the shorter one on top and at a right angle. With Ina here, it's the left leg. With her right leg, it would be the reverse situation, of course. Now your leg is propped up. Then you grab your knee with your left hand and hold your foot with your right one. Now sit absolutely straight. Most people will now notice a stretch in their buttocks. This is all about the muscle in your buttocks, since it pulls your leg upward too much, and that again tilts the pelvis. Sit straight, arch your back as much as you can, that is very important, and then, and this is a little trick, move your belly button forward. Ina, please, let's do it the wrong way to demonstrate. Round your back and lean forward. See, that's an absolute no-no. And to avoid that, it's a great idea to push your belly button out, because this keeps your upper body straight, and you'll immediately feel the stretch in your left buttock. Go in there for 2 minutes. Increase the stretch, but always stay under 10 on your personal pain scale, but do it for 2 minutes with increasing effort, and after the exercise, get up, shake loose, and that wraps up this exercise. As a test, and to show you about the length situation, you could take your right leg, the longer one, so to speak, put it across the other one, and start the stretch to compare. Normally, you'll notice that the stretch is less pronounced in the longer leg, and that is proof positive that you are doing the exercise correctly. The second exercise is not only about the muscles in your buttocks, but also about the hip flexors. Let's start with the left leg for your buttocks. That means you slide your left calf underneath your right knee to bring your shin bone in line with the upper edge of the mat, if you have one. And then make sure that you have a 90-degree angle, a right angle. Often you have to push the left pelvis out a bit to create this 90-degree angle, and as soon as you're sitting like this, you bring your right leg back as far as you can, stick it out all the way. Ina is really good at this. Place the arch of your foot flat on the mat, and now try to erect your upper body as much as you can, and don't bend forward. Ina, still forward too much. Bend back your upper body. Use your arms for support. The more you're in a straight line seen from the side and from the front, the better you can achieve this double function, because now we're not only stretching the muscle in your buttocks, but also the right hip flexor. The hip flexor can cause a long leg, a normal leg, to appear shorter, because the hip or hip joint is contracted much more on one side, then on the other, and so you end up with a tilted pelvis again. That means this is the perfect exercise to do for 2 or 2.5 minutes. Breathe your way into it. Feel how it stretches in your buttocks, in the right groin. That's normal, this stretch. Compare where it stretches more. Try to keep your upper body straight, then swap sides. We'll show you how. Bring your right leg to the front. Stretch out both legs. And now, for the other side, slide your right calf underneath your left knee. Make sure that your right shin bone is parallel to the upper edge of the mat. Move your right buttock out as much as you need to create a right angle here. And now, bring your left leg to the back. Now, you lean forward to help move your leg. Then, erect your upper body again. The more you bring your upper body up, the more your hip, your groin, feels a stretch with a certain intensity. And then, manipulate the angles so that the intensity of the stretch in your right buttock and in your left groin is equal. And the exciting thing for you is to realize that with this exercise, both sides feel different. And you should develop a routine from that information to work more on the side where the stretch is more pronounced. And in combination with the exercise on the chair, your joints will change quickly, level off, and your pelvis will be balanced again. And in case you wear insoles in your shoes, take them out, because now your body balances the situation out without any outside help. The only exception with leg lengths are accidents or after a serious injury, fractures, operations, and such things, after which the lengths of the leg will have actually changed. That's a different story that may require insoles, but in most other cases you won't need them because it's the different tensions in your muscles and fascia that create that tilt, and this exercise is a good way to balance that out. Now, have fun with exercise and leave us a comment how it works for you. In case you want a video that doesn't only focus on how to lengthen your leg, but on your entire torso as well, simply click here. Thanks, Ina, and thank you at home for joining us. Until the next time, goodbye.